Happy Wednesday, dreamers. Rise and shine. Yes, it is definitely another blessed and grateful day. Super excited to be on here with the fam, and I've got a great topic. As you see, this one might be a little bit controversial, but yes, we are getting into we are being poisoned from all different aspects. But the good part is I have a way to go ahead and get around all of the madness. Not just even myself, the greats have actually laid out a path to go ahead and truly get dialed in a world full of so much noise. So that's the topic for today. Dreamers, how are we feeling? Cedric, let me know. Feeling good, team? Drop it down below. What is the word for the rest of the month? What is the focus? What is the frequency down below? Grateful to be alive. Grateful for God, for the atmosphere, for the inner circle, for the growth, the knowledge, and most importantly, to be able to go ahead and have some clarity in a world full of so much noise. So I want to help everybody get some clarity for today. So let's go ahead and dive into this one. Seems like a threat. Yes. But hey, again, this is crucial. I'd be a bad mentor if all I did was talk about the sunshine and rainbows, right? We need to talk about both sides. This is why even when you read the Bible, it's always going to give you both sides of the equation. So here it is. How can we go ahead and not get poisoned in 2025? Okay. A couple things to think about. Number one, when you study Outwitting the Devil, I don't know how many have had a chance to go ahead and get into that audio, but if you haven't had a chance to go ahead and listen to that one, that is my audio suggestion for the day. And you're going to see inside of this audio, one of the main reasons why 95% of people end up living anxiety and all of the lowest frequencies. Most people end up living in this state because they're not actually thinking, right? They're not thinking. And inside of the audio, he talks about the difference between two types of people. You see, we have thinkers, and then we also have drifters. And sadly enough, the school system has not taught any of us to actually go out and be thinkers, right? If you actually go and study John D. Rockefeller, he said the school system was actually created to create not thinkers, but to create workers. Why? Because the 1%, the elites understand that they don't want all of us thinking for ourselves. That's why most of us, we end up falling into somebody else's dream. How many of you, drop a 5 down below if you have ever heard the term, if we don't build our dream, we will go ahead and fall under somebody else's dream, right? That's exactly why, because the thinkers end up creating their reality. And those that just end up end up floating into whatever current they end up falling in, right? It's huge. This is keys. This is really how it works. So now think about this, okay? We're being poisoned by almost everything that we see. If you go and turn on the TV, if you go and click on the news today, if you go and even look at social media, there's negativity everywhere. We don't have to find it. I cannot get on social media and not hear something about Diddy. It's hard to turn on the TV on the news and not see something negative. You know why that is? You see, the 1%, the media, they know that if we're not actually living in a state of if we're not living in clarity, if we're not living in passion, if we're not living in purpose, they know that we're probably going to become susceptible to what is it they're going to show us. And the mass knows when you're living in fear, it's hard to think. It's hard to create. That's why when you go back and you study COVID, there's certain things that they did to isolate and actually get every one of us to go crazy. Think about it. They cut off the Wi-Fi. We weren't able to travel. They shut off everybody's pretty much technology. And we got stuck inside and people went absolutely crazy. You know what? They poisoned our minds because everybody's sitting at home, watching the news, living in fear, and it's tough to create. So that's just the news. This is literally just what we see. We're being poisoned by what we eat every single day, right? Fast food. Half the things that we're going to go and put our mouth in today, believe it or not, is poison because the microwave. This is radiation. How about the things that we drink? Soda, juices, most of the time are completely acidic. And when you study liquids are one or two things. It's either alkaline or it's acidic. Same thing with foods. And you see anything that is acidic is more prone to disease, cancers, and illnesses. But you see something that is alkaline, that's why when somebody gets in a cancer situation, they get put on a chemo diet. Because you see chemo, even eating different foods, allows the cancer to go ahead and actually not live in an alkaline environment. So think about a couple different things today, mostly in Red Bull. I would take out Red Bull if I was you. Go, Cedric, do me a favor. Go on YouTube today and type in how is Red Bull made? And you will be absolutely astounded from what it, hey Winston, go check it out. Go look at how energy drinks are made. Look at how much toxins and poison is actually in energy drinks. Let's keep going. Let's talk about toothpaste. Do you guys realize that 90% of toothpaste has aluminum inside of it? Has fluoride inside of it? It's pretty crazy, but it's real. That's why even with deodorant, the deodorants that we use have aluminum. And when you start looking at a lot of cancer and diseases, it comes from a buildup of two different things in the body. One is plastic, two is metals. If you don't believe me, check it out and do your research. But you'll start to see there's a reason why success leaves clues, why diseases and cancers, all of these things have been around for years. But there's also ways to actually go ahead and use holistic measures. For me, I have an alkaline water machine. So when I go to my house, I literally have different alkaline pHs that I can pick from 7.5 to 8.0 to 9.0. So I want you guys to think about getting on here today. What are we eating? What are we listening to? And what are we even speaking? Believe it or not, if we're around toxic people, if we're around those that are constantly bringing us down, constant negative things, who are we associated with? All these things directly correlate to how healthy we are mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And even comes down to financially. Also like to point out, in America, the companies make a very unhealthy diet, but in Europe, there are much healthier products. That's interesting. If you guys actually travel out of the country, you'll notice that in certain countries, they don't even allow Red 40. They don't even allow Yellow 5. And when you look on the packages, they're gonna give you so much more details than they give in America. And there's a reason why. Because America is all about money, right? It's business. Why do you think Trump was elected for president? Because of business. Everything that's going on with the economy, right? With taxes, with all of these different countries, this is all to go ahead and poison the American mind, to make us all live in fear. So we're not creating, so we're not going out and investing. But when you're tapped in and you understand what's happening, we can go ahead and take advantage of everything that's happening right now. To be able to eat healthy, hit the gym, get around mentorship, continuously work this thing. They say after 25 years old, most people don't read more than 2 books a year. When a CEO like Mark Zuckerberg is reading 4 books a month. Success leaves clues unless we are clueless. There's a reason why they're constantly learning. So family, that is my training for today. I just want to get everybody in the mood and the groove of thinking of, yes, the world is noisy. Yes, there's a lot of toxicity out there, but there's also a way to get focused. There's also a way to go ahead and pierce through the noise, to go ahead and get through all of the darkness. And that's by eating good, going to the gym, taking care of ourselves, and really understanding that we can go out and create a life by design by getting into the right information. That's why they say information can truly change situations when it is applied. So love you, fam. Anything you need, I got you back all day long. Happy Wednesday. And tonight we have a Dream Team call at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we also have a Don Thompson Dream Team call. We have none other than the president showing us how to go ahead and get absolutely healthy mentally, physically, financially in this season. So if you guys are looking for the link, send me a link, shoot me a DM, and I will make sure you guys get on there. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything. We can hold it in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. It's game time, fam. Let's grow.